Just because I fell is why I win. Like Michael Jordan said, all those you take 1,000 shots, he's missed so many free throws, so many game winners, but that is why he wins, because he fell so much.
I ran to Andres. Andres, Fede Culture just hit me up. They're about to send me a package.
When they look at us, they think we're not just barbers. We're regular people. Working on trucks outside at the crib. In between cuts, maybe I might be out there wrenching a little bit.
VCS boys.
VCS
boys,
yep.
Episode 3.
Yes,
I know, honestly, I've been really excited to have you guys on because when I started this podcast, I was like, man, I really, the reason why I started it was to get people's stories out. And to me, I've been a barber for a long time.
Yeah.
You guys been coming into the shop. You guys been knowing me for a while.
Yep.
And to see you guys basically grow up and become barbers, and just make a name for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's been inspiring to me. It's been inspiring to a lot of people, and I'm like the older generation of the barber game, you know. But I kind of want you guys to introduce yourselves and let them know who VCS is.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, my name is Oscar Vitela, and I'm 19 years old. I went to Paul Mitchell Barber School, and I graduated in October. I got my license and everything, and yeah, man.
And you're the older brother.
I'm the older brother. That's my little brother right there, man.
Yes, sir.
And how old are you, Andres?
I'm 18. I turned 18 in April. Yeah.
18 in April?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you guys both been cutting hair?
I've been cutting for about 3.5 years now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been cutting for 2 years, going on 2.5 years right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what's crazy to me is, bro, to me it feels like you guys been cutting longer than that.
Yeah.
Just probably because I've been knowing you guys forever.
That's what it
Feels
feels
like
like.
it.
You guys
Yeah,
used to
feels
come
like.
into the shop and spy. You know, you used to sit down and just literally watch us cut.
Yeah,
Especially this one.
Yeah.
When he was going to school in high school.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Lunch.
And to me, the barber game has been a blessing, bro, because I've been able to meet a lot of young guys, a lot of young people like you guys, and give advice based off my experience, and really been able to poke at your guys' brains to figure out, like, what direction you guys are heading in, what direction the barber game is heading in. What made you guys want to become barbers?
Man, it was always like, there's a lot of reasons, and there was only one reason that really stuck out to me, was just being able to be a boss, be my own boss, be a leader. And I always felt like I was always a leader to anything I stepped in, and I felt like barbering, that's what it is. You're your own. If you mess up, it's on you. You can't blame anybody else but yourself. And that's kind of what really stuck to me. Like, it was always my main reason of always becoming a barber.
Being independent.
Being independent is it's crazy. You can do so much things, and barbering always just stuck to me. It was always that one thing that I could go to, if anything, and it was just peaceful, man. I just always loved it from the start.
What about you?
Man. I think for me, honestly, it's because it was seeing Oscar, seeing Oscar, cut hair every day, wake up every day and get to it, and, always had something going on. He always had clients coming in, talking to people, having a good time, And at the time, I wasn't doing anything. I was like 16. I was just sitting at home, chilling on the game, what a regular 16-year-old does. And I was like, man, one day Oscar came up to me. He was like, bro, I need you to hop on this with me, bro. Like, if me and you both get on this, we're going to go crazy. And I was like, yeah, but I just don't know if this is what I want to do. There's so many other things to do. I don't know if this is it. Like, how am I supposed to know? I'm so young.
Yeah.
And then he was like, nah, he was like, forget that. He was like, I'm going to buy you a pair of clippers, and you going to do it. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I'll try, why not try? There's no hurt in trying.
Yeah.
So I tried one day, and man, it was crazy.
Never went back.
Never went back. I fell in love with it, everything about it. It's just so cool.
And you know what's the crazy story is, man, for those people who are listening and don't know, their parents, their dad is my mom's cousin, first cousin, So basically, you guys are my second cousins.
Yeah.
I'll be telling everybody, man, these are my cousins. And a crazy story, man. A crazy story that I have with you guys is, you guys started in your parents' basement, right? I remember you hit me up and asked me if I had any stations or chairs for sale. You know,
I remember
And
that.
just by coincidence, I had just got done remodeling one of the shops.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, I have a station, a chair, and another station, another chair
Mhm.
that I say, you know, basically give you guys. You know, it was nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you guys set it up. You guys set it up and started cutting in the basement. You
Right.
know, you guys used to make your little the videos on Reels and
yeah.
TikTok and everything, and it used to blow my mind because I was like, damn, that was my station, and that was one of my chairs.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And for you guys just put them to use, man. And to me, it meant a lot just being able to be in that position and help you guys out. You know what I mean? And especially you guys being family.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Now that you guys are cutting hair, man, how has business been?
Business is booming, man.
Business
It's-
booming? How
yeah.
often do you guys cut?
We cut from Tuesday through Sunday. Sunday we do half days. You know, like get a little family time in.
Yeah.
You know.
Gotta get the family time.
Mhm.
Yeah. We just we would cut every day if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But we gotta set that space and have that balance.
hmm
So
And where you guys cutting at right now?
we're in the backyard. We built a studio in the back.
Of your
Yeah.
mom's house, right?
My mom's house. Yep.
Yeah.
We stayed at our mom's house.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Why stay at your mom's house and not go to a barbershop?
Man, that's a good question.
Great question.
From the start, I always knew that going into a barbershop, obviously you got booth rent,
Yeah.
you got people around you,
Mhm.
and you're working for somebody else.
Yeah.
And that was it right there.
Yeah.
Working for somebody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
I think that right there just didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
And I felt like there's only one route to take if I were just not to work for somebody else, which is build my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I told my brother, I was like, man, either we go booth rent and we spend, whatever we spend at the booth rent, and or we build a shop, or we
Mhm.
build a shop and we just grind it out there until we can get our own shop.
Mhm.
And that was kind of just the base.
Mhm.
That was the base. We didn't know where we were going,
hmm
but that was it right there. Just that.
Where do you think you got that mentality from, bro? The mentality of like
I don't know, man.
solo, like basically a solo entrepreneur, bro. Like, where do you think you got that mentality from?
Honestly,
I know what happened.
What do you
Let me
think?
tell you a story. One time in middle school, right? Man, I don't know, like, I really don't know where he got it from, but I think over time it just grew. Because at the beginning, when we were in middle school, right, we used to just, we had no money. We're in middle school. No one has money in middle school. If you do, that's crazy. But anyways, Oscar one day came home. He was like, hey, Andres, look at these lanyards. There's some Nike lanyards on Amazon for like $10 for like 30 of them. He's like, bro, we take these, we sell them for $10 each. We can make some money. And then like every day since then, he's either selling lanyards, selling chips at school. He was that kid with the backpack walking around the hallway. Like, hey,
Selling
bro.
stuff.
Yeah, selling
Crazy.
stuff, always selling something. He would always start it first, and he'd be like, Andres, do it, bro. You'll make me some money too. And I'm like, hey man, I'll try. I'll always try. And he's never let me down.
Yeah.
Every time he comes with an opportunity, 9 times out of 10 it works.
hmm And so you always followed your brother's footsteps.
Yeah, I really did.
Uh-huh.
I try not to just be a follower, because obviously like a lot of things I do it like in vision of him kind of.
Yeah.
But I try to take what he does and turn it into my own thing. So like, yeah, I'm following him, but I try to put my own little spin on it. Make it different on our own way. But at the end of the day, we're still brothers. So what we do and what we say and stuff like that, it's gonna be similar, obviously. But I try my very best to make it, my own style, my own way.
hmm
I think that's a big thing for me, just trying to make it my own.
Yeah. Yeah. Become your own person.
Yeah, I want to be my own person. Like I've always felt like, like when we were younger, sometimes like. Then like, I don't know, he just always seemed so big, I was like, man, I'm in the shadow, bro. Like, I'm not. He's always doing cool, He's always doing really good. And I'm like, I got to do the same, I just got to figure out my own way to do it,
Yeah.
Take what he has and make it my own and make it better. And then he'll see me do better and then he does better. And just
Boom, boom,
up,
boom,
up,
boom,
and up.
boom.
It's like a pattern.
hmm Let me ask you something, man. So do you guys like have meetings, bro?
Meetings
Every day.
every night.
Every day.
Like, do you guys have meetings and talk about like VCS and the barber game and how what you guys can do different?
I feel like that's us every night.
Every
I feel
day.
like we try to do everything in our power to just be different,
Just do better every single day, basically.
Mhm.
just what it is, It's we have those talks where it gets deep. We're like, hey bro, like what are we doing? Like what's the goal here? What are we trying to accomplish in the long run, because in the short run, yeah, we got haircuts, we got people booking up for the week. We book, but like what is it? Like what's our reason and what's our why?
hmm
And that's what I always try to figure out. That's what I always try to remember. Because at the end of the day, you can always do something going fast, but if you don't have a direction where you're going, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you just, that's why I always tell them, like, we got to figure out what we really want for ourselves, what we really want to become.
And have you guys like figured that out, or you guys are on the way?
Man.
We get in there, but, you know, we have those times where we know, but man, it's not it. It's another one. It's another one. And but I feel like every time we do that, it gets better and better.
Yeah, every single time there's always something new.
Let me ask you guys this, because I think for you guys are on the right track thinking about the future and planning for that.
Yeah.
You know, but one of the things you guys need to know for you guys to have that good direction is, what is VCS?
What is VCS?
What is VCS? What's the brand?
Man.
I know it's just you two, and it's called Vitela Chop Shop, right?
Yeah.
But what is it? What's the brand? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it's two brothers, but like, what sets you guys apart?
Honestly,
Go ahead.
man, what sets us apart? And honestly, I think what really, like, for me is like, what I think sets us apart is just our attitudes and stuff. Like, I feel like usually not nowadays, you walk into a regular barbershop, you know, and you're gonna go get your haircut, you're gonna look good, you know, and everything like that. But I feel like you're not gonna have that connection with your barber like that. You're not gonna connect with him. You're not gonna get that understanding with him. Like, he's just a barber, you know. I feel like what makes a difference for us and what makes us stand out is that, like, with us, like, our clients, we make them our friends. That's our goal every single time. Every new client, we try to welcome them in. We're trying to just make them comfortable, you know, trying to make them feel like we've known each other forever. It's not, you're not just getting a haircut, you know. We're chopping it up. We're having a good time. We're talking about things that you can't really talk about all the time. You know, I feel like for us, or at least for me, and I think, you know, pretty much the same, just like our attitudes towards people, because I think that's a really big thing. Like, it's not just cutting hair. It's a lot about customer service, man. People just need to sit down and just relax. You know, they want to chill. You know, they want to get cut and everything, but they really just want to relax and have a good time while they're getting a haircut.
I haven't been in your guys' shop, man, inside the chop shop, and what you just said was very valid. You know what I mean? What are the vibes inside your guys' shop?
Man,
It's everything you can imagine. It's
everything and anything, like a group chat, you know, like the group chat with the boys, you know. It's literally what it is, a real life group chat. We have our friends coming in, they kind of hang out for a little bit, new clients walk in, and everybody's just vibing, man. Everybody's just connecting, everybody's having a good time. You know, there's no negative energy in our shop, and I think that's a really big thing for us, like, negative energy, man. We don't want none of that. We don't want no hating on nothing, you know. Everybody has their own past and everything, you know, but we just want positive, you know, positive vibes.
We're very big on that.
Yeah.
Like, just the negative, you know. I feel like that's, you know, we go too fast for that. You know, there's no point in having negative stuff out there. You know, we like to keep everything positive. You know, we don't like anybody feeling uncomfortable. You know, we try to approach that if we feel like that.
Yeah.
It's always been like that since day one.
And you guys got a cool little group. When I went to your graduation party, I noticed you guys like the younger generation of barbering.
Yeah.
And you guys have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do any of them want to follow in you guys' footsteps and become barbers?
Yeah.
Or do you guys have like young cats that come up to you guys and want to become barbers?
There's always a lot of people that come up to me and I want to start cutting. And man, every single time we always try to give them something to start, because I feel like that's the first thing. You know, that's the first step, like getting something and having something in your hand that has to do with barbering. Because you can talk about it all you want, but you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You just never know until you. I feel like I gotta give him something. You know, I gotta give him a little comb. Like,
he's always giving out combs every time.
You
He's
know,
always giving out his combs, man, every time.
You know, I remember that because I remember one time I went to your barbershop and I think it was like I barely started cutting. And I remember this, you gave me a pair of Paul Mitchell black scissors.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was going to go to Paul Mitchell. I looked at the name PM. What is this? It's Paul Mitchell. And
Yeah.
I used those scissors until my fingers couldn't fit.
Yeah.
And I'm for real. Like,
He did not want to buy new
these are
scissors.
dull.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
And I just, that always stuck to me. That right there was just like, man, like, I want to be like him. And I'm not afraid to say that because I've always thought about that. I've always looked up to you and it's always been like that, you know?
I appreciate that, bro. To be honest, to be in the position I am now, 2 barbershops, there's 21 of us. It's crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was to speak to you guys, young people just starting off. I put myself in your guys' shoes a lot, you know, and I really think about what would I be doing if I were them?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I learned through mistakes in business, and not through mistakes, but through success as well. You know, I've always tried to treat people right. I've always tried to make the right decision for the team. I've always tried to build the team up before me. You know what I mean? If you think about primetime, I'm there, but you think about the team.
Strong.
Yeah,
You know
team-
what I'm saying?
That's exactly
Like,
what we
yeah, I'm
want.
there, bro. So when you think about primetime, bro, that's why I said the brand is so important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The brand is what sets you apart. That's what you build off of. That's what gives you direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's what I've learned in all the years that I've been cutting hair. You know what I mean? Do you remember the talk that me and you had back there?
Oh, I remember it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You recorded it.
I still have it in my voice.
You know what I
messages.
mean? That's one thing that surprised me, bro. So we were talking here at the coffee shop, and it was just by coincidence. You were still in barber college, and you were about to go in, and
Early in the morning.
at that time I was listening to a book about creativity, you know, and we were talking, and I was just like about to start giving you some gems,
Yeah.
and you were like, "Hold on, bro." Turn, hit the spy watch, and then hit the record button,
Yeah.
and we talked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We talked, and I was like, when you left, bro, I was like, damn, that shit was smart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes we hear something, bro, but we forget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We forget over time, especially if you're a busy person. Like, that happens to me all the time. Recently, one thing I've been trying to work on is writing things down, taking notes. You know what I mean? Even voice messages, bro. Sometimes I record them just so I can go back to listen to them. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that set you apart, bro. Ever since you went into school, I told everybody, I was like, watch Junior. You know what I mean? Watch. I said it 1,000 times, you know? And one time me and you were talking, and I even told you straight up, you should go. I was like, bro, do the garage thing.
Yeah.
I was like, do the garage thing.
That's what hit it.
Yeah, I was like, do the garage thing, bro. You have to do it. You and your brother have a good name, a good brand. You guys are building that brand, of course, but at that time, and I was like, you guys got to do it. You know what I mean? Just because something inside of me was telling me like, yo, these guys got that it factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They need to be by themselves and be creative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whenever you guys are like in the evenings after you guys close and you guys are talking about this stuff, I know I asked you a little bit ago, and you guys were talking about, you said you could passing out combs.
Yeah.
Right. Since it's both of you guys,
Yeah.
do you guys work as a team, or is it just more like the owner here and then like a manager here? Or because what I'm trying to think of is in the future, bro, do you guys ever think about expanding?
No, yeah, definitely, man.
Do you feel like that's the goal?
Yeah, we talk about this.
That's the goal for sure.
Uh-huh.
I consider us both owners.
Cool.
You know, I consider us we the owners. You know,
Mhm.
I never say I'm the owner, and he never says he's the owner. We're on the same page on that.
Yeah, it's,
Good.
It's our barbershop. You know.
I
what
always
mean?
wanted that because you
Yeah.
was a younger brother.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
am.
I'm saying?
I'm
Yeah,
a
yeah.
younger-
But that's good, though. That's
Yeah.
good, though, man, because now you guys have the understanding.
Mhm.
You know what I
No,
mean?
It's always been like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way I honestly, because we were talking about that. We were like, man, like we knew we were gonna answer some good questions. So we're like, man, let's think about it. And I think, like, you know, like he started it. You know, he was the first one to start cutting, and I followed him, and I made it my own thing. You know, whatever. But like, I feel like there's things that he brings to the table that he's strong at. You know, but there's other things that he doesn't. You know, like there's a lot of things he lacks, and I feel like I need to. Those are the things I can bring in. You know, there's always something you can learn from anybody.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter who it is, what.
Fill in the
Like,
gaps.
Yeah, there's always the gaps to fill in.
Yep,
You know, it don't
exactly
matter.
what it is.
Even if you think you know it all, don't. There's always someone out there
Yep.
who knows something more than you.
Facts.
And I think that's why we know that we're both a team. You know, we're not. He's not above me. I'm not above him. We're here.
Mhm.
We're both there. You know what I mean? We're both working at it. We're both trying to do better.
Man, that's real.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's
is there
exactly
is there any brands that you guys look up to?
Yup.
Yeah.
Faded culture.
Faded culture.
has
Yeah.
always been like, man. The first haircut I did, that was the first video on my YouTube.
Yeah, he
I have
watched
a
it when I
video.
cut my
I have a
hair.
video literally when I was cutting Andres' hair.
Yeah.
Faded culture was on there, and you know what the craziest part is, they reached out to me. I was posting TikToks, you know, I was going crazy. I was getting like a couple viral videos,
Mhm.
and when I first hit 20K on TikTok, they hit me up.
Mhm.
Man, I ran to Andres. Andres, Faded culture just hit me up. They're about to send me a package.
Which one hit you up, Adrian?
I think Adrian.
Uh-huh.
Adrian hit me up, or Sergio. I think it was Sergio.
Uh huh.
and they were like, hey man, we want to send you out a package, like what size are you and everything. The first thing I said was, can my brother get a shirt too?
That was the first thing
that
you
was the first
said.
thing I was like, my brother to get a shirt too, because I feel like I always try to bring my brother.
You always look up to him. You always you're a real good big brother, man. Especially to you guys' younger brother Fabian.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fabian.
Yeah, you guys are definitely putting him under your arm, bro.
That's
and
big bro right there.
Yeah,
That is big, bro.
yeah, that's funny. Eventually, you guys need to bring him on, man.
Oh yeah, for
For
sure,
sure.
man. I want him to do his own thing. I want him. I'm not trying to force him to do anything.
Mhm.
You know, we're big on that. You know, we gotta let him. If
Yeah.
he wants to cut, we're all there.
Mm-hmm.
Set up a whole station for him, whatever
Mhm.
he wants.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, if he, I like his. We love sports. We
Mhm.
play sports our whole life, and he's on that right now.
Mhm.
And I want him to do as best as he can with that, because I felt like, you know, when we did sports, we stopped our senior year
To work.
to work. You know, we did it to work. Not, you know, we didn't really need it, but like we needed it also. You know, we needed to have that extra income. We needed to have that support. You know, we wanted to make sure we were good. And I always told my brother, I was like, man, I need you to go D1. I need you to go pro, man. And I always tell him that because, you know, if you don't set that standard, he's not gonna look up to it.
Mm-hmm.
And he always talks about it. Whenever someone asks him, "You gonna be a barber?" He's like, "No, I'm gonna go D1."
Mm-hmm.
And I love that answer every time, because that's what I always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I want Fabian to fulfill that. You know,
Yeah.
I want him to do what he wants to do. He's good at, man. He's so good at baseball
Yeah, I know.
and soccer, man.
Yeah.
He's going to play state this weekend. He's about to go represent
Really?
Kansas.
Dang,
He's gonna versus Missouri.
that's what's up, man. I know. We have the same trainer. You know, Junior
Oh,
trains
yeah.
him too.
Yeah, man.
You know, and he
He
speaks.
loves him.
Yeah, he speaks highly of him, man, and he has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
You know, who was your guys' biggest support system?
Man,
My parents.
Our parents,
Mhm.
yeah.
My parents, since day one, man. Since day one, it was always them. You know, for everything. You know, it wasn't just barbering. It was everything. Soccer, whatever you can imagine, cross country, boxing, whatever you can imagine, and it's always been them. You know, they've always supported us on whatever crazy decision we had. You know, they always had their advice, and they knew if we really wanted to do it, we'd do it. And I feel like when I told them I want to be a barber, they just like, you know, they didn't see me do anything. But once I got that clipper, they're like, all right, let's get it. You know, they got me my first trimmer, my Andy's T outliner. They brought it home. They were supposed to just go give me a little cool care, because my mom was like big on disinfectant. So I'm gonna go get you disinfectant. And they came home with a trimmer, and I needed a trimmer. And I remember that too, because I used that trimmer till it was dead. I used it till I couldn't even use it no more. It dropped actually.
And then you gave it to Fabian.
And then I gave it to Fabian. I gave it to Fabian. I was like, Fabian, you can have this. You can have this, Fabian, because I was trying to just get him into it. But man, our parents, man, they've always been there since day one.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's what you take? Like you take the hard work and the entrepreneurship from your parents?
Oh yeah,
Definitely. Because when we were younger, man, like, yeah, we didn't work, but every weekend, and my dad had a side job. We was there at the side job. We was there cleaning up, just doing something, you know. Like, we may not been over there like helping them, but hey, we cleaned up a little bit, you know. It's the principle, you know. Like, you show up to work. Why? Just because you have to, you know. Like, no other reason. You gotta show up every day. You gotta put in the work, and I think that just translated into. Oh, I think sports help with that too, though.
Yeah.
Sports, you know, sports shows you, like, even when you're having a bad day, even when you're doing horrible, you got to keep going, because you never know. With the last 5 minutes, you could score 2 goals, you know. He's done it before. He did it in high school. He scored 3 goals, I think. They were down by 3. He came back. So there's always got to keep pushing no matter what. The last minute.
Second.
That's crazy.
Second.
I mean, you guys are speaking gems, bro. You guys are speaking facts. And what I was going to ask you guys was, one of the things that I was because you guys are talking about what you guys learned from your parents, like all this positivity.
Yeah.
And I know you guys feed that into your clients.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
course.
saying? All the time, huh?
Oh, bro, always about, like, man, every time I always try to make sure they leave with a positive attitude, or at least like the thought of it. You know what I
Because
mean?
our clients go through stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, and I'm
Wow,
sure they vent to you guys just how my clients have vented to me.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys, and I know you do, but don't take that for granted, man. I've been cutting for so long, and I've had some clients that I've known for forever, bro, that I've been cutting since the basement.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been riding with them. Some of them got into some trouble, and some of them are doing really well now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't think as barbers, bro, I think we need to take into consideration that sometimes we communicate with them more than they communicate with their family.
That's what we were talking about. I was like, sometimes people come in the barbershop and, man, we're all they got sometimes, you know what I mean? May not literally, but like sometimes, man, they just can't open up to certain people in their life, and we're just that outside plug that just helps them, helps them give them that little boost, on a bad day, they come in. That's why we're always big on positivity, we always try to be good to them, because you never know what they're going through, man. Everybody goes through crazy things you wouldn't even expect, and they could have a smile on their face, but man, all you gotta do is have a simple conversation with them, a genuine conversation, no nothing, just straight genuine, and man, you gotta open up to them, and they open up to you, and then that's how you build that bond right there, because that bond they'll keep coming back, keep bringing people in, because he's a good person, like he's cool, like he's a good person.
It's not just about the haircut.
It's not just about the haircut. It's never just about the haircut. It's way more than that.
Yeah, and it got deeper, bro. Barbering got so much deeper than it used to be when I first started cutting hair. Back then it was $15 cuts, $20 cuts, and we were knocking them out 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And bro, when you're cutting that fast, it's hard for you to try to have a strong conversation with your clientele. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now it's so different, bro. I love where barbering is heading, man. I've always been an advocate for change, for the difference, to adapt, to continue to learn. You know what I mean? That's why I did this podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I want to be part of that change, bro. I've always wanted to be part of that change, and now, like, it's literally happening.
Right in front of you.
Right in front of you.
Yeah,
you know what
crazy.
I'm saying? And it's just step by step. What's something else you can bring to the community? What I mean by the community, the barbering community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there's any events going on, be there.
Yeah.
If there's anything going on when it pertains to like other shops, grand openings, everything, I've always been there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the thing is to build the community strong.
That's exactly what we're on to. What did we go to last year? We went to Convoy of Hope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We went to Convoy of Hope. It was a big event. All the Palm Mitchell people went there. And I remember we were at Palm Mitchell and they were doing sign-ups. And there was like 30 people that could go. And I put my name. And then I put Andres' name on there.
Yeah. You didn't tell him?
I didn't tell him. I just texted him. I was like, hey, you want to go to this? And I already put his name down. And I know he was going to say yeah. And right away he was like, yeah. And I didn't even tell nobody that, you have to be licensed to go there or you have to be in barber school. Andres was still a junior. He was still a junior in high school, and we were in there. We was in there. We cut over 60 heads at Convoy of Hope. We were going nonstop.
Yeah,
How long
we're
ago?
going all
From like
day.
9 to 12. We cut so many people, and that right there really changed my perspective on barbering. It changed it so much. It's more than just a cut, and I take that to the heart because it really is. There's so much. You can really change someone's life with just the haircut. And the haircut, I mean the conversation, the attitude you give them, and whatever you can do.
And honestly, brother, if it's a crispy cut, you feel that. You know what I mean?
Feel everything.
You couldn't even talk. Sometimes a barber doesn't want to talk. You know what I mean? But he might give you the wettest cut ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you walk out, and as soon as I don't know, I'm sure you guys do this, bro. Because every time I get cut, first thing I do is hop in the car. Boom, pull the
that mirror
visor down.
Gotta pull the mirror
And
down.
I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? It's crispy.
Yeah,
And it gives me a boost every single time. It gives me a boost. I feel like doing something. I always feel like hanging out with my friends. It's something that it's hard to compare to anything else. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys felt that. I'm sure you guys give that out all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? What are some clients that stand out to you guys? Because there are going to be some clients that are listening to this. What is one of your first clients that you ever had?
Man,
that you think about?
I think about this man all the time, man. My boy Santi, boy Santiago. Yeah, he was my.
What makes him stand out? What makes him so special as a client?
He was been there since day one, man. He always spoke highly, and I always spoke highly of him too. Since day one, he never. Man, I gave him bad tapers, man. I can say it myself. I know it wasn't the crispiest taper, but he still came back every single time. Yeah, every single time he always came back, and he always had a smile on his face. And seeing that, man, is just like people come to me all positive. I gotta be positive too, I gotta be.
You feel like he helped you in your career?
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. He was a day one. He always came back to me. He always said, "Hey man, like what's new? What's next?" He always kept me ahead of the game, and I appreciate him for that, man. And he's always the one that stuck out to me.
What about you?
Man. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go on one of my friends named Roy. His name's Roy. I didn't know him before. Like I just met him through cutting hair, and at the time, he lived in Newton, and we're cutting hair in our basement, and in our room, not even our basement, because we had a little room in our literally my bedroom. We used to cut hair in there, and so he came. He's been coming to me since we were in there, and I didn't know him, I cut his hair for the first time. I was like, yup, I ain't never gonna see this dude again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I was like, man, couldn't do it. But he came back, and he came back, and he came back every single time. And it was just crazy to me because he came from Newton, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just I'm his age. We're like 16, 15, I think like 16. We're 16. I'm just cutting his hair, you know? Like, I'm giving a decent cut, you know? I'm doing my best. And we should just have good conversations. We'd all just chop it up. You know, that's all we used to do. Just chop it up, cut his hair. Simple, you know?
Yeah.
But he always kept coming back and coming back. And I think over time I just realized, like, man, why does he keep coming back? It's like, it's because our connection, you know? Like, we're connecting. And I'm not just his barber. I'm his friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where I took the, always got to make your clients your friends, because that's what taught me that, you
That's
know?
where it started.
That's where it started. I realized that with him, and I was like, man, like, the things that just connecting with someone does, you know, you can give them a nice cut and having a good conversation. So that's a perfect recipe right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it just stuck out to me so much, because I was like, man, why does he keep coming back?
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, that's why, you know?
It was a quick connection that you guys made, man. And it's hard to explain those connects that we have with the clientele, because I have a couple of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I still cut some guys that I've been cutting since I was in the basement at my mom's house. You know, and that was in 2009, bro.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what I'm saying?
We got cut down there.
Yeah,
I
bro.
remember cut by that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. And it's crazy because you never know who's gonna stick with you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Through the ups and the downs, because trust me, there's downs in business, bro.
Oh yeah.
There's downs.
Definitely,
You know what I
definitely.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Is there some things that you guys have struggled with now that you guys have your brand?
There's a lot of things.
Yeah. What are some things that you guys struggle with, but now that you're working on?
A big reason, things that we struggle on. I feel like it's just that question we were talking about earlier, like, what is our why? You know, when you ask us, do we know it? I feel like we struggle on that a lot more. We try to figure out what really is our why, you know, and it's really hard because you don't just figure it out. Like, it doesn't just happen overnight. You know, you gotta build yourself. You know, one of those things was to become someone, you got to become that person or something.
First.
Like that. Yeah, you got to become that person. And then that's what really.
That's what you guys are working on now.
That's what we're working on. You know, that's what we're trying to do. And it's always a struggle. You know,
That's something that I think I talked to you about that, bro. Remember when we were back here?
I remember that.
I did. Now that I think about it, bro, I'll talk to you about that. And do you feel like that's something you struggle with too?
I think that's definitely something I struggle with, but I think honestly, for me is like, since I started cutting hair in high school, you know, I started in like my sophomore year, and I think for me, the biggest thing I had to overcome was the repetition. Cause to me, I felt like I was just in a loop, cause I would go to school. I hated school, you know, I never did good in school, you know, I was not a good school person. So I'd go to school, come home, cut hair, and obviously I had a great time cutting hair, but I just, over time, and I was like, man, I just feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. But with that, I think I'm overcoming it now, especially more than ever, because I feel like now, yeah, you kind of doing the same thing over and over again, but like, you gotta just change it up. You know, you gotta do different things. You gotta go about it a certain way. You gotta learn different techniques, and it's all about learning. I feel like once you feel like you're not learning, that's when you get burnt out, or you get that repetitiveness. You always gotta keep learning new things and new tricks, and you know, like you said, like going to different barber events, like even if it's just a grand opening, you know, little things like that, you know, helps you get your energy back into the community and everything. All that stuff is like,
and it comes back.
Yeah, man. Anything you put out, you get back.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Are you guys? I don't think so, but are you guys afraid to fail?
Oh man, that's my biggest failure. That's my biggest fear.
Biggest fear?
That's my biggest fear of failure, and I feel like that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, I never wanted to fail. I always wanted to be the best, and you know, that always stuck to me. But I feel like I've learned a lesson behind that, especially what he just said about repetition. When we're in the same position. He's in the same position I was a year ago. You know, going to school, coming home, cutting hair till 10 every day, 5 days out of the week. Saturday we'll cut all day. Sunday we'll cut all day, half day, and we'll just be like, man, I only got a couple hours, and I gotta go back to school tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was stuck in the same place, and I feel like I was getting to that point where, like, oh my god, like I'm not improving. I feel like I'm gonna fail. You know, is this really gonna work? You know, and that's when I overcome it. When I found that out, like, am I really gonna do this? Like, you know, and
I think
that's what I got.
Man, I think from what I'm hearing from you guys, bro, I've seen it in my barbers multiple times. You know what I mean? Maybe I didn't talk to them about it, but I would see them thinking about it, bro. I would see them in their barber chair, literally looking at their phone on IG, TikTok, on everything, comparing themselves, and it's always like me and Ivan had talked about it. It's always good to take from other people and make it your own. You know what I mean? But what I've seen from the barbers that I've seen that are very successful, Eric, Ivan, Cedra, Mike, Diego, bro, these barbers that are very successful, that I've seen grow, one thing they've always done is continue to do the repetitions. You know what I mean? And there's one thing that's gonna happen, bro. Who knows when? It might be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. Look at Ivan, bro. It took him almost more than 5 years.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw that.
It takes a long time, bro. But when it hits, and you got to ride with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the repetition is gonna bring out more creativity. You know what I mean? Because you might get bored with something, you're gonna try something, but you're gonna have to keep doing it over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Try new things, experience new things, hang around different people, put yourself around different people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Separate yourself. You can be friends with everybody, but there has to be a core group that you surround yourself with, and that's what's gonna bring those green lights. Oh, this is the direction I need to go. This is the direction I need to go. Because one of the reasons I started this podcast was why? Because of Ivan.
Ivan?
Yeah, bro. One of the reasons, because we talked about what sets us apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's Ivan good at? What am I good at? What are you guys good at? You know what I mean? We all have in Spanish it's called a don, something that we're good at, something we're born with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you figure that out and you capitalize on that, that's your why, bro.
Yeah.
That's why you do things. That's why you were born to.
I think.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, man.
Because
I feel strongly about that.
because I think deep down inside we all know.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
But there's so much going around, so much going on around us, bro, with social media and the barber game and the industry in itself, that sometimes our headspace might go this way, our headspace might go the other way. You know what I mean? But the success comes from staying centered, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Continuing to learn, absorbing everything from everywhere. You know what I mean? And seeing what you can get out of it. You know what I mean?
Exactly what it is.
Can you guys relate with that?
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
Because that repetition, you know, there's always a lesson behind each haircut, and I feel like that's key right there. Because, you know, after each haircut, you know how they say like 1% better every day. Well, my goal back then was to get a haircut every day, and now we getting in haircuts all day, you know, and I feel like every single time something good always happens. You know, there's always something good out of getting a full haircut weekend. Always something good happens, you know, and that's what kept me going. You know, doing that every day, I never saw a downside of it. I never saw like,
you don't get tired of it.
Nah, you don't.
To this day, bro, I'm booked tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I still cut. You know, people tell me all the time, why don't you hang up the clippers? Why don't you hang up the clippers? And like some barbers would be like, man, I would have hung up the clippers already. Bro, you ain't in my shoes.
Yeah.
You know, I really love barbering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I really love this shit.
And you've been saying that since day one. I remember asking you too, like, you still cutting? Like, yeah, man, I love barbering.
Yeah. And see, I think I think you guys love it too, bro, because as the years go on, the reason why I have stayed with barbering and continue to grow with it, of course, I've dabbled in other things, but I've succeeded for so long, bro, because I've gone through so much in the barber game, and every time something tough happened to me with one of the barbershops or a barber or just in life in general, it tested me to see if I still wanted to keep going. There's been times where I'm like, man, I'm selling the shop. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
There's been times where I'm like, man, I can't do it. I'm going to sell the shop. I'm going to go try this. I'm going to go do that. And I would snap out of it. Bro, and I kept going. Can you imagine if I would have sold the shop 5 years ago?
Can't imagine.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look at all the things I would have missed out on.
Everything.
A lot of things.
You know what I'm saying? All the barbers I would have not met. You know what I mean? Because of those negative thoughts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've explained it to many people plenty of times. It's because I love it. And I keep doing it. So if you love something, bro, no matter what happens, you're always gonna keep going.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's literally gonna always happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's those moments right there where you're sitting on the couch or sitting where you're at and you're just thinking like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I feel like it's those moments right there where you really learn who you are, man. You really figure out who you are. You figure out if you're really about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the moments that change you. Those are moments that, like, you wake up the next day and you're going to know if you're going to get to it or not. You know what I mean? Those are the moments right there where everything hits a pivot point. And that's just, you just realize that you see things way different. You see things way clearer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's those moments right there. I think those are the most important moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need it. I feel like in life, you need to fail. Like you know how he was saying he's scared to fail? Like, I'm not scared to fail because I feel like all throughout high school, I failed classes. I've always failed, you know? But for, like, just because I fell is why I win. Like Michael Jordan said, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know, all those, you take 1,000 shots, he's missed so many free throws, so many game winners, but that is why he wins, because he failed so much. You have to fail to win, because failures teach you who you really are, man. They really show you if you really are who you say you are,
Mm-hmm.
and do what you say you're going to do. You know, if you're really going to put in the work after.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, everybody fails, you know, but it's how you take that failure and what you do with it after is really what defines you, you know?
Yeah, facts. And when he said that, I asked that question for that reason.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to see what you said. You know what I mean? And it's okay.
That's
And it's
crazy.
all right. You know what I mean? We all have different things that drive us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But don't be afraid to fail. You know what I mean? When we are, bro, we stutter. We don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to commit.
Yeah.
Look at me with this podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see. Yeah.
I was nervous,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, I can do it.
Whatever.
You know what I'm saying? I can really do it. I truly believe. I truly believe in in my experience, bro. You know what I mean? I just ain't speaking out of things I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just how you guys are moving, bro. You guys are very young, and you guys are gonna learn a lot about business as the years go on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But best advice I can give you right now is to not be afraid to fail. Try different things. Surround yourself around different people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think it'll be good for you guys to go take some classes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go flourish, bro. There's so much out there. You know what I mean? We can't get stuck in this headspace that we know that. I'm not saying you guys are there, but I've been there before, that we know it all. You know what I'm saying? That like everything I've learned was because I went somewhere, because I met somebody, because they put me on game, or because I read this book. You know, I used to never read books. You know what I mean? Or listen to them. I don't read them, actually. I listen to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to think they were dumb. Keep it real with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't blame you. Yeah, I feel like that's like the assumption you go to. Oh, why would I read a book?
Yeah.
But it's like the
So
book,
much
you know,
more.
it got some knowledge in there. You know,
Yeah.
you can.
But listen to me, man. It comes down to do you really want to learn? That's what it comes down to, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In my career in the past, I wasn't fully there. You know what I'm saying? I had so much going on outside of work that were distractions, honestly. You know what I mean? When I really buckled down and I was like, you know what? I'm going to hop on YouTube and learn about this. You know what I mean? I'm going to hop on this class. I'm going to join this mentorship. I started dabbling in everything, bro, because I was trying to find out what was next.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What was next? What was next? What was next? And there's always a next. And when you guys hear Ivan's podcast, when I drop his,
Crazy.
you guys are gonna hear about how it doesn't get easier, bro.
Yeah.
It gets harder.
Hard. You know?
You get what I'm saying? And that's why it comes down to do you genuinely want it? Do you genuinely love it? You know what I mean? Because it only gets tougher. You know what I mean? But in a good way, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's what starts to mold you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's Oscar right now. How old are you again?
19.
There's Oscar right now that's 19. Bro, Oscar at 28, what are you going to be doing? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Me and Tiffany been going to these classes, bro, and one of the things that I've learned in those classes, a gem that I can give you guys right here in front, I don't care who's listening, is plan ahead. You know, set yourself goals. You know what I mean? I wish I would have did that a long time ago, bro. I mean, I've done well for myself, you know, but they were just off intuition and decisions that, I think I should do this, I think I should do that, right here, right there.
Yeah.
But if I would have planned it out, I could have got here a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? A lot faster. If I would have just locked in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plan, bro. Plan for the next 5 years. Plan for the next 10 years. You know what I mean? When you do that, set goals in between that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta knock these goals out before these next 5 years.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I gotta knock out these goals before the end of this year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? One of the things was when I started this year, I was like, I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, I started figuring it out. I'm gonna do it. Look how many months it took me to start.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Of course, it took me a little because I was thinking about the brand. I was thinking about doing it. If I should, this and that. Man, I should have did it a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You would have been crazy at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're here, bro, and we're doing it. And what I'm trying to say is, bro, plan. And luckily, it's both of you guys, bro, so you guys can hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely,
Which one of you,
definitely.
I mean, you guys both hold each other accountable, or which one of you guys is more on each other than the other?
I feel like it's even, man.
I
Like,
don't know, man.
it's crazy.
Pretty even because he be doing things and I gotta tell him, but then I'll be doing things and he gotta tell me. You know, I feel like it really does go both ways. Like it may not seem like it sometimes, but it really does, man. It really, really does.
It clicks in. It clicks in fast. Like we're opposites, but the same person.
Mm.
Like right now, when he just said he's not scared of failure, and I'm scared of failure, he's the reason why. Like whenever I do that, whenever I fail, like I go to him.
Mm-hmm.
I go to my brother, and I don't see him as my little brother. I just see him as my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him as my big brother or little brother. He's just my brother, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's dope.
I need that. I need that difference, you know.
Mhm.
I need that. Well, there's a word I'm trying to figure it out, but I need him. That's
Mhm.
really what it is.
Mhm.
You know, I need him to help me with whatever questions I got. He always has the answers,
Mhm.
and it's always been there, and it's always been like that. And he knows that I do that too,
Mhm.
and that's what just keeps us going,
Mhm.
keeps us locked in, and
That's good,
it's been
bro.
like that.
The upside for you guys, bro, is that there's two of you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Basically,
saying?
yeah.
On the same page, you know?
Yeah.
And if you guys are able to put your guys' head together and really think about it, look at Faded Culture. I think those two dudes are brothers too, right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I'm
brothers.
pretty sure they're brothers.
They're brothers, bro.
Yeah.
I think.
Barons?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
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 Brothers or cousins, one of the two.
No, yeah, they're brothers.
Yeah.
Family though, family.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
family though.
They family.
Related, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
See,
how we
look what they
it.
did, man.
Exactly. Man.
All through branding.
Mhm.
You look at one of their pictures and you just see a whole Faded Culture.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say, bro, brand. The brand. You know what I mean? The brand. Me and Tiffany talked about coffee days. All we talked about was the brand.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We can have all the plants in here, bro, but if we don't got a brand,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You're
So
right.
the brand is the most important thing. That's what I learned about business. One of my mentors actually told me that. You know, what is prime time? You know, I actually wrote a mission statement about it. You know, yeah, but not until he told me.
Yeah.
You know, it took
Yeah.
me years. It
No,
took me
yeah.
years to actually think about that. And when I did, bro, I started really looking at things differently. I started coaching and talking to my barbers differently. I started trying to put them in a different, like try to put them in a different mind space. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're so good at this. Try this. You know, bro, you're so good at this. Why don't you do this?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I think you guys do that with each other, right? You guys do that with each other. Like, one thing I noticed about you is you're real good with the trucks, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole truck thing, and
That's
you
what
got
I
your
do.
you got the whole truck thing going on, and La Tacuache.
Yeah.
You know what I
that's
mean?
mine. That's my
That's
like.
his lingo.
I feel like it's cool to get into that, you know, because first off, you gotta have something outside of work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta have something going on for like, you know, something to do. And another thing is like people like that stuff, you know, like but like they don't when they look at us, they think we're not just barbers, you know, we're regular people, you know, working on trucks outside at the crib, you know, in between cuts maybe. I might be out there wrenching a little bit.
Mhm.
You know, it taps into a different type of people, you know, it makes them opens their mind a little bit. It's like there's more to just cutting hair, you know. There's a whole bunch of things that go into
Man,
it.
build off of that, bro.
Yeah.
Build off of that if you can. You know
That's
what I
I
mean?
tell him every time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you feel because you guys are both different, bro. When it
Mhm.
pertains to barbering, what do you feel like your niche is? What is it about you and your haircuts that separates you?
Man, I love to teach.
Uh-huh.
I love to teach. You know, I wanted to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a teacher. I love to teach. I love to give people anything you can learn off of.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's my niche. Like, you know, through mistakes you gotta learn this, you gotta learn that. But I feel like that's what always That was my niche. Like I love to teach. You know, I feel like through social media, I can do that. You know, I can teach. I used to post like tutorials,
Mm-hmm.
and man, that made me so excited. Every time I post a tutorial, and I saw someone comment, "Hey man, thank you. Like, can you do one of these again?" I go straight to it. You know, I do it straight away. I feel that's always what got me going. What really kept me loving barbering and
The teaching and the learning.
just teaching, man, and just really seeing somebody else learn off of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dang, like I actually do stuff that will help people.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really thought about that because I was always so scared of like posting this, that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, once I posted it, man, it was just like I feel good about myself.
Does postings on social media bother you anymore?
No, man, I don't care what I post.
What
I mean, yeah, I care what I post, but I feel like that's what holds a lot of people back.
Yeah.
You know, that fear of posting and getting your name out there. I feel like that's the main thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're on a
People are afraid of being judged.
yeah,
Being judged,
yeah.
yeah.
We're on a gold rush of social media right now. If you're not on social media, like you have to get on it. You know, this is social media is changing the world. You know,
Yeah.
and I feel like people need to get on that. I
Mhm.
feel like people need to just overcome that fear of posting. You know, whatever you do, if it's not even it has to be barbering. It can be anything. You know, from working on this or that or trucks. Like I told my brother, like we need to post videos on everything. Like we started a YouTube channel. We
Yeah.
started a YouTube channel, we post whatever. It has nothing to do with barbering.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what I really like.
Keep trying, bro. Keep dabbling in different things, bro.
Yeah,
and then
that's
that's
what it is.
what's gonna happen is eventually it's gonna evolve into something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just gotta stay organic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you think your niche is
Man,
outside of the conversation?
outside of the conversation,
Yeah.
like conversation with my client, you mean?
Yeah.
Man, I think it's just my need. That's a good question. I think what separates me is honestly, it's my like my outlook on things. I feel like for me, it's my knowledge. Cause me, I think knowledge is power, man.
Mhm.
It really is, man. Cause
Yeah.
the more you know, the more you're able to, to figure out. Like for me, like what I really focus on is my clients. Making sure they get the best knowledge possible.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that's about barbering or about life, usually it's about life because I just got into barber school, so I'm really learning and able to teach them the proper ways because I've only been able to teach them what I think is right,
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm in barber school, I feel like I can teach them the actual knowledge and stuff like that.
How do you like barber school?
Man, I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's something new every day. Like you go in there, I feel like once I got into barber school, I feel like because before I felt like barbering, like I felt like it was a job. I felt like I went to work and everything, but it was just like regular to me, I was like, oh, it's cool, But I feel like once I got into barber school, it like flipped it. I was like, whoa, like because I was like respected in there. Like they looked at me like, oh yeah, like I don't know, just put me on a podium,
Because of the brand.
Yeah, because of our brand and everything. Just because I feel like barbers at barber school, they're respected, like they actually like they hold us accountable to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep us respected, and I feel, it's got serious for me.
Mhm.
I was like, man, this is really it. Like, this is really.
I mean, I'm glad you said that about barber school, bro, because I gave a lot of classes and I talked to a lot of people in school, and a lot of times they don't like barber school. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be fun. You're supposed to go in there to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What I tell them all the time is to try to make the best of it. You know what I mean? Make the best of it, bro. When I look back at barber school for me, compared to what you guys are learning,
Yeah.
bro, you guys are in a damn Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nah, for real, man.
you know what I
really is,
mean?
though.
Compared to where I was at, you know? And every time I go to Palm Mitchell and I do a class there, I'm like, yo, these kids are lucky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, bro, you guys got nice chairs. You guys got TVs with the screens on it
Yeah.
with what you're supposed to do. And it blows my mind, bro. You know, I don't
Yeah.
take none of that shit for granted.
No, we don't either, man. I saw that every day. And whenever I see someone, like, they were just there to be there.
Yeah.
And that really, like, kind of just threw me off. 'Cause I'm like, man, why? How you taking this for granted, man? You got all this in front of you, man. Use it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it right there.
That's the
What-
mentality.
exactly what
That's
he
the
said.
mentality you need to have.
It's kind of like, you gotta think of it like this. Like, it's like someone putting, like, it's like you're hungry, right? Someone puts a plate of food in front of you and you don't eat it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how are you not gonna accept what's being given to you? Like, you're here for a reason. You're here to learn. You're here
Mhm.
to try new things. You're here to explore. Like today, we did waxing. I've never waxed no one's eyebrows or nose. I waxed someone's nose today. I was just pulling it out, bro. And I was like, man, like,
Yeah.
but like, there's other people in there. They're like, nah, I ain't really trying to do that. Like, I'm not gonna do that
Yeah.
outside of here.
Yeah.
I'm like, you say that, but like, by you saying that, it's like cutting out a whole category that you can be into. You know, like you're gonna decline this service and lose out on money for no reason. You know, like all you had to do was apply yourself and just learn. You know, like you just gotta take what you learn and use it everywhere because you can use anything.
Anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because they teach us a lot.
Yeah, I know. I know. When did you say you graduated?
I graduated in October 2023.
Just barely a couple months ago.
Yeah, barely. Yeah. Last year in October. Yeah.
Barely a couple months ago. Man, I'm glad I was able to bring you guys on, bro, because it allowed me to dig deep into like what I can look for in the future. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there are a lot of barbers that are coming up. Some of them have this. A lot of them have the same mentality as you guys. You know, you guys want to try new things, do different stuff, and I'm all for that. You know what I mean? For these guys, bro, there's gonna be a couple cats that are gonna listen to this that are younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Younger barbers. What is some advice you can give them?
Man, some advice I always give.
Because you guys are young, bro.
Yeah, we're young.
But you got to understand, there's kids out there that are 14, 15 years old.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There's
Cutting
crispy
hair
cutters.
already on TikTok and
Oh,
everything.
yeah, I know. You know, we cut them.
Yeah.
You know, we cut their hair. And it's the same thing you said. When you saw us, like, grow, I feel like we're in that process right now. You know, for example, I got my boy Dario Cuts. Dario. Man, that dude, I remember when he first came in, he's like, man, I want to start cutting. Right away, we're just like, yeah, man, do it. Like, you know, we never turn down anybody that comes in saying they want to cut. I feel like that's the best thing to do. You know, we're doing it. Why would I tell him not to do it? And from that day, he just went crazy. You know, seeing him grow was just crazy. It fulfilled me, you know, like seeing someone else being able to do something that they like, you know, and he still comes up to this day. He talks to us about everything. He has a cool little shop, too. And, you know, I always tell him, I was like, man, don't rush, you know, take your time, you know, and enjoy it, you know, be in your shoes, you know, because I don't want nobody to wear out, you know, that's the thing. But I always tell myself, if you really love it, you're not going to wear out.
Yeah.
That's what people tell us too, you know, do you ever get tired? No, man, I love this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even feel like it's a job.
Yeah.
You know, but.
What about you?
Man, I think, like, for some advice, you know, I'm like you said, I'm pretty young, too. But, like, for the younger people, man, I would say, like.
Because a couple years ago, bro, like, there's some kids right now, bro, that were in your shoes a couple years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thinking about cutting hair. Maybe I shouldn't cut hair.
Yeah.
Maybe I should. Or maybe I should go do a job over here at somewhere else, working in a warehouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, but honestly, some advice I would give is discipline, man, because you get a lot of freedom with this job, man. You get a lot of time off if you want it. You know, you get a lot of everything, man. You know, you can set your own schedule up and everything. So it's about that discipline, man, because you're going to start cutting hair. You're going to start getting money. People are going to start knowing you. Girls are going to hit you up and all that stuff. Like, that stuff comes with all this, but, like, and it's not all crazy and everything. I'm not saying, like, you're going to get hella girls hitting you up, but I'm just saying, like people are going to know you. You know, your name's going to be out there. You're going to be known. And it's just, I feel like you can't let that get to your head, you know. You got to stay disciplined. You got to stay humble and everything like that. Because you just got to keep grinding, you know. You just got to love what you do. You got to keep grinding every day.
So stay disciplined.
Yeah, man.
That's the best advice you can give.
That's the biggest thing.
Discipline is the best part.
You know what I'm saying? Discipline. Because that's what has separated all the great barbers in the industry
Yeah.
is discipline. You know what I mean? And if you spoke to any of them, they would all tell you the same.
Yeah.
Discipline.
That's
You
exactly
know?
what it is, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I would tell you. You know, discipline, bro.
Yeah.
That's kind of what got me where I'm at today is staying disciplined, doing the same thing basically over and over again.
Yeah.
Until like green light hit. All right, now it's time for me to do this.
That click.
Yep. And it's going to happen to you guys too, bro. And I'm excited to see what happens.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
I'm just cutting till it happens.
Mhm.
And that discipline.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is. You know, I don't know what's coming tomorrow, but I'm going to cut today. I'm going to figure out today.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it today. That's what I tell them.
I'm going to ask you guys something, bro. And this is a tough question, but I've asked it to the last two guests that I've had. It's a tough question for some young guys, but I was curious to see what you guys would say.
All right.
When it's all said and done, when you look into the future, bro, let's say you guys are very young and you guys have a long life to live. But when it's all said and done, bro, and you guys are a lot older, sitting next to each other on the couch, looking back at life, what do you guys want to be remembered for?
Man, I'm going to go first on this one.
Go ahead.
Honestly, man, like for me, man, I always talk about it. I always bring it up and anywhere I can. I want us to be known as genuine people. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's a lot of ungenuineness going around right now. A lot of fakeness and stuff like that. And a lot of, like, backstabbing and stuff like that. Like, you know, I feel like if you know when I'm old and gray, sitting on the couch just like this, watching the sunset, I want to think back and be like, man, I hope people like see us like as genuine people, man. Like we always try to keep it real with people. We never try to hate. That's the one thing. We never try to hate. Everybody gets into that like, oh man, like knick-knacking certain things. I'm like, yeah, but that's him, you know. Let him do his thing, you know. We got our own thing going on, like just that negativity. I hate negativity, you know. So that's why I would always want us to be looked at as like positive, genuine people, you know. We just want the best for everybody. We want everybody to succeed, you know. There could be another barbershop down the street. You know, that's good for them, you know, because we got our own clientele. They got their own clientele. There's enough room, and it's a huge world we live in. And I think people get too caught up in, like, competing with each other. I think you got to, you know, everybody's going to win. Everybody wants the same goal in life, to succeed, to get money, buy their mama house. You know, everybody wants the same thing. So I think the biggest thing for us is, like, just for people to understand us and remember us as, like, genuine people, you know, because that's all I try to be is genuine. I do my very best.
I like that. Do you agree?
Oh, man, 100%, man. I feel like we get that from my dad. He's always told us that. He's always told us, man, just be genuine, you know, do the right thing, you know.
Be humble.
Be humble. He always said that since day one. And I feel like that's always stuck to us, and that's helped our business as well.
Yeah.
You know, and that's definitely helped us evolve. You know, being able to do that from the start, because that wasn't something we struggled with. That was always since day one. We've always been like that.
Yeah. And it shows, bro. And it shows. I really like what you said about being genuine. I really like that. I really and I don't expect nothing less from you guys. You know what I mean? That's why you guys are my third guest. You know what I mean? Little cousins, following and shit, kind of my footsteps in a different way. You know what I mean? But I'm happy you guys came on, bro, and I'm happy what you guys are doing. And I just want you guys to know, man, that I expect a lot from you guys. You know what I mean? I expect a lot from you guys, and I want you guys to understand that if you guys ever need anything, bro, I'm always one call away, and I'm part of this community, bro, of the barber game here in Wichita, and if anything, the first person you guys should call is me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every time.
Every time.
And appreciate you guys coming on. I know this was you guys' first podcast, but you guys did a good job, bro, and I really appreciate you guys.
No, thank you, man.
It was a blessing being on here, man. It's like we were talking about it all day. We're like, man, bro, that's gonna be so cool, bro. Because man, we look up to you, man. We've always looked up to you, you know. Because not even just about being a barber, but just what you do in life. You know, you just do your best, you know. And because I still remember the day you cut our hair in the basement, man.
Yeah.
I was playing around with Saul, I think. Because you had your barber room, and then you had like another little separate sala type thing.
Yeah.
And I would always play right there. And I just always remember that. I was like, man, like, you just keep grinding, you know, because great things happen when you stay disciplined and stay getting at it.
I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. For real.
Thank you, man. For real.
And I'm gonna tap in with you guys in a year, and we'll see where you guys are at.
I'm excited.
I'm
excited, man. For real.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I
Thank
appreciate
you, man.
For sure.
Ooh.
That was tight.
Good.
Ooh, that was good.
I feel like it went by fast.
That went by quick.
How long was that?
I think we're just at like an hour. Yeah.
Hour? That's good. I'm trying to knock them all out.
Yeah,
About an hour.
Right now it's 1:05, but I probably start recording a couple minutes before we actually
Ooh,
start
that's
talking,
crazy. I feel like we're in another world. That's crazy.
What you guys think? Was good?
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some crazy people.
How people are gonna love this, bro?
Yeah.
Love it. I was telling everybody I was gonna come on here. I was like, man, I'm gonna be on a podcast. You know nothing? Prime time? Yup, that's me.
Nelson?
I'm gonna go right there.
You know, it's prime time?
You know about coffee days? Yup, that's where we're gonna do it.